Welcome back, guys, to another episode of College Street.
Yeah!
Woo!
Woo.
As always, you got myself, Hamad, Alex over here,
What's up?
and DC.
What's up, guys?
So, kicking everything off, this is what, episode 22, I believe? 22?
You are the man to
3
know.
months in,
Yes.
episode 22. We're rolling with it.
We
Let's kick us off. We got What's New With You. So, DC, what is new with you?
Not a whole bunch. I watched a movie this last weekend. It's called Lone Survivor. Has Mark Wahlberg in it. It's about.
So, your first time watching it?
Yes, my first time watching it. It was like 2014 movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
old.
with-
Where he's the last survivor.
Yeah, it hit me pretty hard.
It's pretty
It's
emotional.
very
It's-
predictable. He's on the cover, and it's called
Well-
Lone Survivor.
Well, you
I know.
get that,
But
but
the title gives away the entire
Yeah.
movie. What's the point
but
of
it's
it?
still it's a legit movie. Like
Yeah, I
it's
know. I
impactful.
watched it.
Yeah.
It's pretty powerful. Like,
It
there are
is.
there are a lot of scenes that are like super.
Oh yeah,
emotional.
it's
Exactly.
brutal.
It is
It's
brutal.
So yeah, that's what I've just been thinking about that a little bit. So
Well,
yeah. What about you, Ahmad? What's new with you?
Quick question. What would you rate it though? Would you recommend it?
Well, I would definitely recommend it. I probably wouldn't watch it again. It's probably like a one-time see. But
Yeah.
I would totally,
Yeah,
I would totally
same with me.
recommend it. That
it was a one-time
everybody.
see for me.
I think it's just powerful enough that people should be able to see it.
Cool.
Yeah, for me, I watched it once, and I'm like, that's cool, but I wouldn't watch it.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
It was a good movie though.
Come
All
on,
right.
come on.
What's new with me?
Yeah, what's new
All
with
right.
you, dude?
Anyway, so lately the weather's been really cold. I know I've been saying this
Oh,
a lot,
today
but
was
now
negative
it's
10.
crazy.
It's
cold.
like
negative 10
you were the
today.
weatherman, dude.
It's negative. Well, I'm sensitive to cold, so like, I can't stand it. So I think this weekend it was like negative 20 in Bozeman.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Negative
so I
10
went.
today.
So I went to Costco to do my usual, weekend shopping and,
Mhm.
and whatnot. So I fill up the gas when I'm there. So I'm filling up the gas. So I'm trying to. I pull up to the gas station, and my car has like a lever function to open the gas cap.
Right.
So, and I start pulling lever. It's not working.
It
So
just
like,
wouldn't open.
yeah. So then like I start freaking out, right? Because my tank's almost empty and I can't open the
You can't
lever.
open it.
And like there's a line behind me, and then I was like, all right, this is bad. So like in the end, like I was just like freaking out, whatever. And in the end, this guy comes over and he's like, you need help? I was like, yeah. This is like the guy that was working there, and he's like, all right. And I tell him the situation. He's like, all right. He puts a card in the little gas cap and it pops open, and I was like, wow, that's
So you got it.
Genius,
he
man.
saved my life. So and it turns out it's just because
Saved
it's
your life.
cold. Yeah, he saved my life because otherwise I've been stranded. So like, yeah, it was cold, so like the metal expanded
Right.
or whatever, and it just caught it.
It shrunk.
All
The
right.
metal shrunk.
That wouldn't make sense
No,
because it
would
didn't
make sense.
open. So if it shrunk, it
Well, it wouldn't make sense that it expanded either.
yeah, all right. The point is, it
No,
didn't
no,
open.
no,
But
and
there
it
could have
was
been
cold.
ice in there.
Think about this. In heat, things expand. In the cold, they
Exactly.
It shrunk, Hamad.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, so
I just
right
want
after,
to point out that literally the past like 5 weeks has just you been struggling with the cold and some random guy coming to your aid.
oh
Like
yeah,
the-
no, funny.
The mailman.
Yeah, and then the guy, and then right after that, I backed up in another car, and I was like, shit. Well,
You
this is-
rear-ended someone?
Yeah, I backed up
What?
and ran someone after that. So, yeah, I just had a really rough with this car weekend.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Is your car all right?
No, yeah, it was really.
Wait, did you?
It wasn't
just,
fast.
Did you just hit and run or what?
No, it was no. He was standing there with his kid, and I was like, "Well, sorry, sir."
Like,
And
just,
I
a
gave
And he
him
little,
was
my
fine
shit.
with it?
Well, it was a nudge more than anything.
just like a
but-
little love tap. Just
yeah, but I mean, it chipped paint. It didn't dent. It
Oh,
just
it
like
did?
scratch. It was like
It's scratched.
It's skirt the surface, so there was
Skirt.
some
Okay.
paint. So I was like, well, I'll give
Better,
you my
better.
insurance. or
You'll get him
whatever.
next time.
Yeah, mission failed.
is he gonna actually go?
No,
file
he
a
was super
claim?
chill about it. He was like, all right, it's just whatever. I was like, and he's my
He had a
neighbor.
kid?
So,
He's
yeah,
your
he did.
neighbor.
Well, he was like, yeah, basically. He's like,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh my
he's
God,
my neighbor.
Ahmad, you
So
are
worst come
literally-
worst, I'll just be like, hey, I can pay for it if you need to.
Your
but-
stories just always have the weirdest loopholes with all of them. I
Yeah,
don't know, is it a loophole?
it's just weird twists. It's just
Yeah,
shit that
it's just a
happens.
hole.
Yeah,
Weird holes.
yeah,
That's all right.
that's
Alex,
wild.
What's new with you, dude?
So, yesterday I went to the pet shelter here.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
even necessarily know we had a pet shelter. I just assumed, but I didn't know about
Oh,
it.
we do, but it's way out of town. It's 20
Okay.
minutes from here,
Is it
which
Bel-
is a lot.
Belgrade?
It's halfway to Belgrade. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like 20 minutes from here is a long way.
Okay.
So anyway, I go there I'm looking for a dog. I don't know if people. I
Oh,
constantly
you've
mention that.
begun
but
your search.
I've begun my search. Yes.
Ooh,
A
it's
long
historical.
search.
So yeah. So here's the thing about whatever animal shelters. Like you think that there's a lot of animals. There's almost none. There's 6 dogs in this place. There's like 40 cages, so that's good, right? And the
Right.
thing is, they never put the dogs down, so that's kind of cool. Something for people to know that like
It means that animals are getting adopted.
they're
Mhm.
getting adopted, and if the average time for a dog there is like 17 days, a cat's like 25 or something.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it's not good news. Like when I heard that, I was like, okay, this is
This is a
like
good place,
dogs
yeah.
don't really put in any shelter. The
Right.
Billings one too, but that's kind of cool. So anyway, I was there, and there's 2 cool huskies that we found. or that me and my friend that were looking at them, we found 2 cool huskies, and we started petting them, and they were really cute and stuff like that, pretty
Right.
big. And then we were asking about them, like, hey, so what these 2 huskies,
Yeah.
what about them? They're cute. They seem nice. He's like, oh yeah, they've been returned 3 times. We're like, 3 times, and one of the dogs like this cute little chubby. It's like a corgi and a husky mix kind of. So
Yeah.
it's this
Fluff
cute little
ball.
thing was just laying there, moving its leg around and stuff. Like when you pet it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So he's like, yeah, they've been returned 3 times. I'm like, oh my god, why? He's like, well, the bigger one out of the 2, yeah, he has like, whenever he plays, he gets rough and he's bitten through skin to owners,
Oh.
so they keep bringing him back. And I was like, oh, that's sad. He's like, yeah, and the other one, yeah, he just keeps getting out of the yard. Like they'll build the yard. I mean, they'll fence it, but somehow he finds a way out. And this last time he went and chased down the neighbor's cat and ate it.
There's no way.
What? He ate the cat. And it's like, imagine like a corgi, a white corgi.
He's a little like this
He's like a
big.
little puffball, yeah. Chased down a corgi
No
and ate
way.
it. Yeah, and I was like, and me and my parents were like, what? No way. And
No,
we were like,
yeah,
"The
he eats the
dog."
cat all the time.
Yeah, so that was
That's
that was
funny.
interesting. Then some other dog, we went in this big room to play with it, and I was like, okay, so what other dogs do you have? He's like, well, we have these that are in separate rooms. You could play with them. I'm like, yeah, sure, bring one. I'm like, what's the first dog? He's like, well, this is like a German Shepherd mix. He's 90 pounds, and I was like, all right, bring him out.
Yeah.
Right? So he went get him. I'm like, dude, 90 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a big dog.
Yeah,
That's
that is a big dog.
that's more than half of what I weigh. So he brings the dog out, and it's a big boy. Like,
Right.
like this guy
It's
is
a German
standing up.
Shepherd.
It's to my hip. It's like a mix of a German Shepherd. Anyway, and we're playing with him, and we went there like 5 minutes before the animal shelter is closing, so they're
Okay.
done with their stuff, right? And after we leave, they just kind of close down and leave. And then we're playing with this
Yeah.
dog. Then the dog goes in the corner. Let me remind you, this is a 90-pound dog and takes the massivest shit I have ever seen. Have you ever seen a dog lay down 7 turds? Keep in mind, this is a 90-pound dog. So yeah, he takes a shit, a big one in the corner, and then the guy that works there, he goes, "Oh man, come on! I was just supposed to leave."
That's funny.
So yeah, so I didn't get any dogs, but I'm still
Nice.
looking.
Still looking though.
So yeah, I really suggest if you're looking for a dog, like
Animal shelters.
before you go and get a puppy, like I'm considering getting a puppy from someone, a breeder, but I want to check out animal shelters. And
Yeah.
like you may be like in your mind, you may be like very like
Close-minded. about
close-minded.
it,
You got,
about-
like, your own
exactly.
specific dog in your head,
Yeah,
right,
only that
right.
dog or whatever, and no other every other dog is ugly, whatever you think of them. But then you go into an animal shelter, it changes. Like you see these dogs, and they're all like they all look like good boys, you know.
Right.
You know, and
Well, that's the one that ate the cat, but who's
it's still a
keeping
good
track?
boy. Yeah, but I really suggest checking out animal shelters or just checking them out in general. Like it's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool to just go look at them. Come
Right,
on, they have
definitely.
cats too. You don't like dogs.
Dude, I'm a cat person.
They
yeah.
got it,
I'll check out
dude.
some-
The cats have they have these rooms and they're like multi-stories.
Yeah, they're
like
just
they have
chilling
like
up
a
there,
they have like a
right.
jungle gym to
Yeah, yeah.
themselves. Yeah,
That's
they
cool,
just
that's cool.
sleep.
That's cool. I'm okay with my cat
Yeah.
sleeping. That's cool. I'm into that. And it was transitioning from animals and such. We watched the Black Panther this weekend.
Oh, yesterday.
And yesterday. So
the
I
whole
got
squad
counted
went
again.
except DC.
Ex-
DC is
except me.
not a
That's it.
fan of.
Well,
Black
first of all,
Marvel
I
movies.
never wanted to see the movie to begin with.
So
But I would have gone. However, I had an exam that I needed
Today?
to. Yes.
how was your exam, by the way?
Well, I think it went all right. I really liked the format, the way it was written. You know,
What was
it
the
had-
exam about?
It was mechanics and materials.
10 out of 10 would take again.
Yeah,
it
what
was
did you
it was
take?
my favorite exam I've ever taken in college. Like I just had fun taking the exam.
Really.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
So yeah.
All right,
I,
cool.
I don't think I've, I
wanna
think
know-
I think I've had that a couple of exams in
Really?
college where I've had
Must
fun
be
taking.
nice.
Yeah, I just good time. I
This is
just
when you
want to
like
know
the
about the
subject.
Black Panther.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Black
I did
Panther.
not get to see it. So inform me.
Was it overhyped? Yes. Did it deliver?
Oh,
Not really.
Shit, was it overhyped? The commercials, the reviews, everything.
The trap music. The
And
music
the
playlist
rating-
on Spotify.
Now the movie itself, we're not doing spoilers, right?
no,
we don't want to give
spoilers.
out spoilers.
Or we can. I don't care.
I wouldn't.
However, I want to point out 2 things. First of all, about the spoilers, Black Panther is in the Infinity Wars trailer. Sort of any moment you think something's gonna happen, just know he's in the fucking next movie.
He's in the movie.
So just think about that. He's also the main protagonist, so you know. Anyway, also, the movie's rated 98 on Rotten Tomato, which is the highest rated Marvel
Right.
movie ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Ever. It beats Iron Man, which is like a 94. Spider-Man's a 95.
I don't know.
The-
They're all in
close,
like
yeah.
mid 90s. None of them have had 100. Even Guardians of the Galaxy, they were critically acclaimed, but they never.
Yeah, never broke
Anyway.
that high.
So this movie, we were all hyped to see it. The
Yeah,
soundtrack wasn't that good either. People were hyping it up.
They
and
got a
there's some
Spotify
good
playlist
songs,
and everything, but like
good songs,
yeah.
but I don't know. I thought it was okay. That "Pray for Me" song was good.
Yeah, by the weekend.
Yeah,
I
dude.
had the featured weekend in it. They
It's
played
like
it
the
once.
main song. It's like the
Yeah.
one in the
Okay.
commercials.
Yeah.
They played it once in the movie, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It was during a fight scene.
definitely.
So-
And then the problem. All right, we can just go off on the soundtrack. So like you know how like if you watch the trailer, they had like that deep like bass hip hop, and it like really fit the theme of like all the action and everything. That didn't happen. Like I always thought like that type of like rich rap like hip hop would happen during like intense fight scenes and stuff. That didn't really happen. A lot of that happened when it was B-roll, and I think like some of it kind of like the soundtrack was good, but I feel like they were missing some stuff. And like I think they only played like 2 actual songs. Like one was by Kendrick Lamar and the other one was by The Weeknd. And I think those were the only 2 songs they played. And like they had a whole playlist that was like way more than that, and I just didn't hear them. Like either they just played the instrumentals or they just didn't like play them as
Right.
long. So you didn't
Right.
hear that. And then I think that I think the action was pretty good. Like a lot of the action sequences, it was pretty good. Like it was, but I feel like some of them were like I feel like they could have like I don't know like amped it up more.
What do you mean?
Like I feel like some of them were like there was good sequences and
Dull.
other sequences were like I wish there were more. Like that one sequence you're talking about when he like jumps.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
like there's one
M-
scene
my
where he's like your favorite scene.
Yeah,
Tell me
my
about that.
favorite scene is like he's the Black Panther. You think of him as a cat, right?
Yeah, he's like
sort of a
jumping all over the
cat-like
place.
thing.
Yeah.
He's got claws and shit, which he never really used the claws in the movie. now
Yeah,
that I think
he
about
has
it.
vibranium
kept
claws
mentioning
and he
his
never
claws,
he used
but-
them once.
Yeah. Anyway, this one scene, they're like in a casino or some shit like that, and it's like multi-stories, and these bad guys, they're in a
They're
fight,
fight,
and
yeah.
Black Panther literally does the coolest thing. He jumps in the table with his hands and then just leaps to the second story.
He
Like
doesn't have,
he
he
leaps
doesn't have
20
a
feet in
costume.
the air.
He doesn't have a
20
costume
feet
or
in the air.
anything. Yeah, he just
Yeah, he just like leaps, and it looks so badass because it's not just like a regular. Like they make him faster too. Like as he's in the
it looks
air-
cool. It makes him look like superhuman. And that was like the only scene that had.
Yeah, and then Hamada's mentioning about the running on like. all
Yeah.
fours.
All right, there's this one scene where they're battling in like an open place, and he's like gotta go chase down the bad guy, right? So I'm like, he's sprinting. I'm like, I was honestly waiting for him to get on all fours and do like a pounce, and that never happened. I was like, oh, I wish I could have done that. It could have been like it would have added
Missed
more.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just lost some missed opportunity. I think they would have added on that. And
Okay.
then I think the one good thing though is that
The villain,
the villain. I really like the villain. They made him like
Michael B. Jordan.
yeah. He plays a really good villain. Like just his backstory and stuff. He kind of like he's one of those sympathizing villains. Like if you're gonna watch the
Right,
movie,
right.
so like it's like as an audience you're kind of like conflicted.
I didn't
Right.
feel that, by the way. I could see how people felt that, and
Yeah.
people do like this villain. However,
Yeah, some
to
people
me,
say that a lot of the villains.
to me, I was like,
Yeah.
you know, I like the good old heroes, like especially in superhero movies where it's like the main,
hmm
like they're bad just because they're bad. Like there's no reason behind. They're bad because they're bad. This kind of like things where they have reasons. There's in the Arrow. Did you guys watch the Arrow?
Yeah, yeah.
In the new season, of the Arrow, it's the same thing. It's like this guy who has a point. He has a point of being mad at all
Yeah.
at the Arrow or whatever.
Yeah, but that goes to a lot of deeper rooted things about it.
It does,
Plots
yeah.
and movies, and we might
It-
skip over that right now. But
Yeah.
but I get what you're saying. Like
Right.
it's,
So, what would you rate the movie then?
What would I rate it?
Yeah,
I give it a 6.5 out of 10.
I give it like a 7 or
You
7.
give it a 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so would you see it in theaters, rent, or buy a DVD? Or never see?
Or never see. I'd probably I'd rent it for like a one night thing.
You wouldn't, if
I
you were to
wouldn't
tell
buy it.
someone, you wouldn't go see it in theater? Let's say you're telling someone to do something.
Ooh, that's tough. Especially since I just saw it in theaters. I wouldn't like stop them. But like I'm saying, like if someone was like dead serious, I'd say just wait till it comes out on DVD. I don't think you're missing like a shit ton of stuff. I don't think it's a must see.
when does it come out on DVD?
After the Infinity Wars, that's the
See,
thing.
that's
It'll
the
come
issue.
out in May. That's the thing.
That's-
so
They're
Right.
smart.
I was just
Shit,
about to
they're
say, I'm
smart.
like, Marvel is smart to having people see this.
Yeah, then you might as well see it in theaters. Cause
Yeah. But
you
it
kind
doesn't.
of want to go.
There's no like other really heroes that are. It's just a Black Panther movie. It's literally centered
I
around.
want to know.
Yeah.
a couple questions I want to know about. I want to know how it fills in with the rest of Marvel movies, because what
That's the
I've seen
thing.
is it seems like it's not even necessarily in the same
Yeah.
universe, and it just
It
doesn't.
Well, the
is,
thing
it
It
is.
does, I know,
it
I
is,
know,
but-
I know it's in the same universe, but what I'm saying is that it seems
I know
to
what
be
you're
like
saying.
a discontinuity.
Yeah,
it's not the
it's,
same film.
It's an origin movie, but it's not as integrated into the like. You're not missing anything if you don't see it. It's just an
Right.
origin.
There's
movie.
no really origin for the like. It's like
Well, no, but it tells the
it's like
backstory
a
of how.
culture more
Right.
more than an origin.
But it tells you the story of how he became the Black Panther, like what the Black Panther is. Same reason why the origin story of Iron Man shows why.
How he has his powers and stuff.
Yeah, so it introduces the character in like a deeper depth.
So you can understand exactly.
So
the
you can
character.
understand where it came from. So
But-
you can watch it, but
But
it's
what
not.
I was saying
important
is more
into
that
the main
I hear that
plot.
the movie is not like any of the other Marvel movies. It's not the same feel. It's not the
I kind of got that vibe.
Well,
like it's a whole different like movie. Like
It's not like
even a part of the
it's not like
the Marvel series.
I don't agree with that. I feel like well,
No,
first of
there's
all,
some parts.
Okay.
recently, Marvel movies have been just changing just because they're making it funny. Because
yeah, the
Thor,
comedies-
think
the
about the
comedies
Thor
falling
movies. The
flat,
first
yeah.
compared to the second Thor,
Ragnarok?
compared to Ragnarok was just a comedy. It wasn't even a action.
Right.
It was a
the
comedy. They
music
rated
track
it a
too. The
comedy.
music track was like 80s, like electro, and then like 8-bit
That's
music.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
and, like,
compare the
crazy
first
comedy in there.
the
It was
first
really
Iron
weird.
Man to like any of the like. There's a lot
Right.
of comedy.
They made it a lot lighter, which is
Yeah.
kind of which makes me wish for like a darker Marvels. Like, aren't they coming out with that
Right.
dark Marvels movie? It's like,
But that's
It's
the
about-
X-Men.
Yeah, that's the
New
X-Men
Mutants,
universe,
I
though.
think.
but yeah.
Just really quick.
Anyways,
On this Black Panther thing. When I first saw Civil War, which is where you saw Black Panther the
Mhm.
first time,
yeah.
he had like few lines. Like he was like a minor character.
Yeah.
But he was introduced and he had the coolest lines and he was the Black Panther. He was this cool ass.
He was a badass, dude.
He was a badass. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
especially like when he's talking. He was battling Spider-Man. Or I don't know, he was battling someone.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's like, hey, he's battling Ant-Man. He's like, oh, whatever, hey, this. And then Black Panther's like, I don't care. Like, he's telling him about it. The Ant-Man was telling him about
Right.
himself, and he's like, I don't care. And then he went into fighting, and I was like, holy shit. This
cool
guy's
dude.
a badass. But then you watch this movie, and you're like, they really overhyped him. I mean,
Well, it makes
they
sense.
make
The
him
entire
too
movie's
good in
about
Civil
him, though.
War. Yeah.
They made
Yeah,
him.
you're
They
right.
made him. It's the whole movie's about him, so he's not gonna say like 3 lines.
His accent's cool. I give him that. The guy,
He's a good
It's a
actor.
fake act. Like, it's a fake accent. Like, it's not as real.
But he's a good actor though. So
Would
Yeah.
you guys care to comment on the other people saying about how it is a stab at white people?
Shit.
I don't think it is a stab at white people.
Okay.
Do you think it's a stab at white people?
I don't know. I think there were some parts in it. I think it was just like the director's black, first of all. So
Right.
I guess he took his own interpretation in the movie.
Yeah, the
But-
whole cast, director, and it was groundbreaking and fundamental.
I think it was. I don't know.
One
I
of the first
guess
few movies to ever do that.
ironically, I think it's funny because like Disney is just like inherently. It's been like kind of like, well, yeah. In the historical wise, it was like a racist company. Like they were
Right,
pretty racist.
right.
So now it's just like it's just like interesting how it kind of evolved and stuff like that.
But so
I'm not sure if
do you
it's-
think they did it well? Do you think
I
they-
think
I
I
don't
think
think
it
they
was
try
well.
to offend anyone.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think they were trying to racially charge anyone, but
Okay.
um,
But
whatever.
you think they put it together well?
I think they did put it
I
together.
think
well.
they
Okay, well,
did.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, let's go on and move on to our college topics.
College.
Because the whole point of our podcast is
College.
College Street. Yeah.
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 You're right.
So let's talk about skipping
Street.
lectures and not going to class.
Okay, hold on.
Do you guys skip lecture?
I
Have you
skipped-
skipped a lecture?
I
ever?
skipped 2 lectures today.
What?
DC just
Just
doesn't give a
today?
fuck about
Just
school.
today you
Just
skipped
today.
Just today, I haven't skipped.
The
I don't-
issue was
I
is
skipped
because I
on this
spent the
whole year.
weekend out of town
Yeah.
that I did not study for my exam, and so one of the lectures there was a sub in, and he didn't like. How do you have a sub in a college lecture? Like that just doesn't make
can't
any
because
sense.
That's
they're
impossible.
PhD
Right,
graduate.
exactly. So that doesn't make any sense, and so. I skipped that one, and then the calc class was in the middle of the day. Just made things studying for my exam hard, so I skipped it too. So,
DC
I mean,
quit.
as long as you
Do
know
both of the
that-
classes take attendance though?
No, I don't have any classes that take attendance.
I got
this
2.
semester.
That take attendance.
I used to have ones.
So
Do you?
I got 2. I got math and I got
Oh,
my.
I do. Yeah,
anthropology.
I got calc and no, I got calc. For sociology, there's extra credit for. She's gonna take attendance 3 times. We're halfway through the year. She hasn't taken attendance, which is I'm worried.
Yeah.
And then
Slightly worse. It's a
Chemistry-
scam.
Slightly concerned.
chemistry, we have to answer the trivia questions in our little clickers. So
Yeah.
they take attendance through that,
Yep.
or just participation, I guess, which is a
You
great.
get points for those, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So,
other
yeah,
than
they
that,
they
no.
keep us in check with that, so it's hard to skip lectures.
Yeah, I mean,
But there's an art to skipping
Otherwise-
lectures. There's
Is
a,
there not?
there's-
As
there is
long
an art
as-
form
I
to
don't
skipping
skip lectures that often.
as long as
But
you
you have, right?
I have in the
Yeah.
past, yeah.
I have to.
I think as long as you know what's happening in the class and that you can catch your information up and it's not going to become like
Or
a
sometimes you just don't
everyday
care.
thing. Yeah, I
Like
get
my
that.
last semester, I took this philosophy class. I really didn't care. I didn't go to.
Yeah,
I think I went to
sometimes-
class like 4 or 5 times. That
Sometimes the
entire
lectures
semester.
are not pertinent to any of the information. It's just literally.
Oh no,
where
it's
they-
pertinent. He's like everything we cover in lectures on the exam. But what he did was he posted. What he forgot to mention is he posted the PowerPoints.
So
on
that's
these well.
very helpful.
So what I ended up doing was just reading the PowerPoints before the exam, and I got like 98s on the exam. And then he ended up dropping one of them, so I just didn't go to the final. So I just stopped showing up for a month.
That's clever.
My point to
Yeah.
it though is there's a lot of people that show up to lectures, say they take a whole bunch of notes or say they don't take notes and they just listen, but there's a lot of people that have no clue what's going on even
Mhm.
if they show up to lectures. So I feel like if you're not even going to understand or not pay attention or focus anyways, then there's no sense in going. And if you could use that time to further benefit in other ways, like to actually study or something, and I think that's totally beneficial.
Now, okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go off of that, and here's what I'm gonna tell you. I cannot pay attention for more than 10 minutes to a professor. Then
Yeah,
I
that's
start
what you
thinking
say
about
most.
things, and not only did I
Yeah.
start thinking he's doing a lecture or whatever, and then I think about my phone, and I think about, oh, I wonder what Twitter's got, and then
I wonder
and then
what
I
new
just, and then I
memes I
just
can uncover.
yeah, and then I just go on my phone in the middle of lecture, like. I'm not saying I'm doing this like without knowing it. Like
Right.
I'm obviously choosing. Like in my head, I'm like, should I pay attention? No, I'll just catch up. And because it's so like boring, because
Right.
of how not that it's slow, it's actually pretty fast. Like our circus professor covers 5 whiteboards, like each class.
Yeah, it
time.
covers like a chapter of lecture. So.
Yeah, so it's quick, but I still decide to. I'm like, no, I'll just learn this in the homework, and I don't know, because you're right. I'm not paying attention in class
Right, you're
anyway,
not
so
paying
I'm like,
attention
I might as well just go on my phone. Or in chemistry, I'm just on my
Oh
phone.
yeah,
like,
chemistry is pointless.
Hamada's playing Fortnite
I was
the other
playing
day.
Fortnite the other day. I yeah.
Yeah.
I was
In
wilding out.
class.
As long as you catch your clicker points and questions. then-
Yeah, I mean, there's sometimes, but the thing is, statistically proven, like a lot of the amount of information you attain in lectures is like 5% out of the entire scope of what
Oh,
you
really?
learn. Yeah, because that's what,
Supposedly. that's not
supposedly
really
5
what
to
it is.
10%, unless you're like, I don't know, unless you're actively
Not
listening.
not in most classes. I don't think that's what it is. 5 to 10. That's so many. Chemistry. I didn't even study for last exam. I just went to lectures.
Yeah, but you also took the class in high
Oh,
school
you're right.
and all that stuff.
You're right. You're right.
And you did the practice exam. You learned a lot from the
Right.
practice. So like, the actual just going to class and straight listening, you're not gonna gain a lot. Now taking notes, that adds to it. If you're doing the homework, that adds to it. If you're taking a practice exam, you're adding to it. Like that all builds up. But just straight listening to a lecture and like looking at you're learning like very minimal. Like I think that's a fair amount, 5 to 10%.
That's what I do. I just show up to lectures. I don't take notes because
I stopped taking notes too.
I found when I take notes that I focus more on writing the stuff down and not actually
Comprehending it?
knowing what I'm writing down, and I just start writing everything, and I never go back through and look at it anyways. So if I just pay attention and listen, then I usually retain more of
Yeah.
like the little things that the lecturer says.
I stopped
usually-
taking notes only in like chemistry. The classes I've taken before or in high school. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
But otherwise, I take notes. I never use my notes. That's the thing. I go and do homework. I use Chegg. I don't use my notes. So at times I'm wondering. I'm like, why am I taking these notes?
Right.
But then I tell myself, just in case Chegg's not gonna have it, or whatever.
I take notes just
I
because
take
it
notes
makes me
just to
feel
do-
better about myself.
What?
It makes me feel like I accomplished something in the end of the day.
Well, if
You know, if
feel
you have
that way,
if
then
you
that's
look
good.
in the end of the lecture, if you look at your notebook, you're like, hey, I got 2 pages of just solid notes that I'm never gonna read. You know, you feel pretty good. You're like, hey,
I don't.
I did
I feel like I
something.
wasted.
But
wasted
what about the
writing.
classes that literally all the notes are is just doing other example problems?
I do them just because I think example problems are more powerful than just like straight.
Yeah,
like,
I do too.
like
I
for
don't know,
math and stuff. I definitely
for
definitely
calc,
prefer
yes,
that.
For me,
Especially-
watching all the like little scratch and side work notes that they do, it's like it's so hard to structure that.
I think
into
it's
the notes.
yeah.
I think it's beneficial though. I
don't know.
definitely utilize my notes.
Personal preference.
I'm a nerd. I definitely utilize
I
my
do
nerds.
not. I
I
just
read the
write
book.
it down.
Utilize my notes. Yeah.
You know when I
Stereotypical
write in a
student.
notebook, fun thing. You know how there's just plain notebook paper. There's the red line on, and then the red in the other, and you can see the one. So I try to write between. All my notes are between.
They're actually centered.
yeah, they're
centered
centered
Just
just
start
in the middle.
of the page and
It's-
then go
So in the
over.
end of the
Yeah,
day,
a
yeah,
couple
yeah,
of
yeah,
just-
yeah. When I write, like my first line will be, I guess to show, it'll be like this, right? And then like this, right? And then and then my second line I'll start right here, and then they'll just slowly go into like a so that ends up being a triangle that's formed like this.
And
You
then
know what I mean?
You have no notes at the bottom.
And then it's like a triangle,
So
and then I
basically
start another
what-
triangle.
Well,
yeah.
basically what happens, Alex just ends up writing like 4 lines. Like the amount of stuff he writes, you can just summarize in like 4
Yeah.
sentences, but they're spread out the entire page.
Oh, it's my notes are all. When people are like, "Hey, can I see your notes?" I'm like, "No,
You don't wanna
no,
see
you,
these.
You're not
you
gonna
don't
see
want to
shit
see
off
this.
of that.
You might as well just like not take notes.
Yeah.
You'll be better off
Yeah.
than confusing yourself in my
Exactly.
hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
Like when the class at the beginning of the semester, they'll point out like, hey, we need lecture note takers for the other kids that need this.
Yeah,
and
I
that.
can't believe those people actually sign up for that. That's
They
wild.
get paid.
That's what I
Really?
first thought. Like, you know what?
What?
I'm gonna show up to class and I'm gonna take notes and everything, and I'm gonna get paid for this. Halfway into that class, I was just
Did you get paid? Did
I
you ask to
didn't.
get
No,
paid?
no, I
How do
was
you
just
get
like-
asked to get paid?
you apply and then you have to show and then you do all this and halfway through my notes, it's
You
just
can
like,
do that?
game over.
I should
I'm
do
not
it.
doing
I
this.
Come on,
actually-
you
I
actually
really do.
should do that.
I
yeah.
actually like taking
If,
my.
if you can take comprehensible notes that are really
I have
well put
I have a
together,
whole
then yeah.
algorithm I use. I got different color pencils for each topic.
He
So
does.
I got
I-
got red.
You need to be paid for this.
I got red. You should see my notes. I got red for the title. I have green for important key points, and I have black for examples and buffer data, like just stuff under.
He's not kidding. His
under
desk
under
just
the
has a
green.
bunch of pens on top
And
of it.
yeah, I have like
when he
3
writes.
pens I just switch through, and then like everything's just neatly organized for me to.
Every
Okay.
once in a while, I'll see Hamad, like, he'd be sitting next to me, and he'd be writing his stuff, doing his art of notes, taking whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And he'd look at me, and he'd be like,
What are you
and then
doing?
he'd go back into his notes.
It's
like,
just
like,
have,
I,
like, one
like I'd
little
have my
block right in the
triangles, you know?
middle.
I'd have triangles, and
Roast
he
him
just,
for
like,
it.
he'd just look at it, he'd be like, oh, okay. And then he'd just go back into doing
Yeah,
his
peasant.
thing. Yeah, he's like,
And then just move on. But yeah, that's
yeah.
so lectures. Yay or nay? Go to them. Maybe.
No,
Go to 'em.
you could skip.
No.
It's-
You need to go and figure out exactly how you need to attack that class.
And
if-
then don't leave.
Attack it.
Yeah.
Attack it.
Hey,
If
see
the
130
class-
aboard.
Yeah.
That's not even what it says.
What does he say?
I don't even
AC,
know.
You know, he says AC 130 above.
Yeah.
Aboard.
Not abort, above.
Aboard the AC 130.
But anyways, yeah, I think that's about it for the video. Podcast, you want to just go ahead and wrap that up?
I think so.
Beast?
No, you wrap
Or
it
me?
up.
All right. Thanks,
Mr.
guys, for
Host.
tuning in on this another YouTube, or no, there's another video podcast.
You can
Yes.
continue watching it.
Yep.
Not watching,
No.
listening to it.
Listening.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
On-
correct.
On our podcast. which
iTunes,
This is the
Spreaker,
podcast. Yeah.
SoundCloud,
And Stitcher.
and all of that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Hold on. If you're an iPhone user, please,
Get on
Yeah,
iTunes.
get on iTunes. If you're an Android user, do Stitcher.
Either way,
That's
leave
the
a
easiest
review
one.
because we need that.
We appreciate that.
Yeah,
very
if you
much.
leave a review, it helps us that much. And
We also like to know what you guys want to hear. Give us feedback.
He's
what
begging
you.
you.
Like.
Can't you see the
I
man?
want you.
To
to let us
join,
know.
to
it's
join
funny
the podcast.
because people like run by, like me and him might be walking, and
Yeah,
someone
then we
we
have
knew from
people
last
with
year run up, be like, "Nice podcast," or
Right,
"Hey, I've
right.
listened to your multiple, like a lot, like
Right.
it's
Multiple
it's
people do
common,
that.
yeah."
It's kind of catching on a little bit.
Yeah,
sort
but
of,
they're
yeah.
just like, what else do you want to listen to? We never. Where's the review,
We just
So
man?
want to
why
know.
So whoever you are that's watching this, please share, you dirty bird.
All right, cool.
Later, guys.
Rub a dub dub.
Dub.